Finally, we got an upgrade to the Moondrop Space Travel. This is the Tanchjim MINO, and for 40 bucks, I think we found a new sweet spot with good balance of features, price, and a special edition for just 6 bucks extra. Let's see how these compares. Selamat pagi, good morning everyone, Kenneth here and welcome to my Tanchjim MINO review. I'm personally super excited for this because I love their last earbuds, the Tanchjim Echo, for its pure and airy sound. And now they brought the price down to 42 bucks. That's the normal version in white, black, and pink. And still under 50 bucks, you can get this special ASANO TANCH edition with a special voice prompt, artworks on every corner, and you get also these goodies, but keep in mind that this acrylic standee is a 50% chance. But honestly, for 6 bucks extra, I think it's a very reasonable offering. But yeah, talking about performance, there will be no difference between this special edition and the standard version. You're getting the exact same thing. So this is my review for all Tanchjim MINO versions. And let's get started right away with the sound quality, which ties down to the EQ capabilities in the Tanchjim app. First of all, let's check out all the official presets, which aside from the Harman tunings, they all alter the amount of bass from 200 Hz and below. And shout out to Axel from ATech Reviews for testing them here. I personally like the default tuning, so most of my listening and comparison moving forward would be based on that. Basically, you're getting a sufficient amount of bass that will satisfy the general audience, and at the same time, true to Tanchjim's origin, the vocals are very transparent and focused in front of the mix. You can see it in the graph, which compared to the monitor EQ, which I prefer on the Space Travel, we're getting more bass below 100 Hz as well as an elevated 5 to 8K mid-treble region. What this translates to is in Harujion by Yoasobi, the beat punch deeper and the bass line goes stronger than the Space Travel, while at the same time it plays the vocal more naturally with nice treble extension. Also, you can notice more spacing between each instruments too, and really the Tanchjim MINO performs closer to the more expensive Moondrop Mocha here, which in my book is an upgrade to the Space Travel already. And you can see the similarities on the graph as well. Just keep in mind that the Tanchjim has the brightest treble out of the three. But it doesn't end there because the EQ capabilities of the MINO is endless. First of all, let's touch the interesting game EQ because you have a list of actual games here, not only mobile but also popular PC and Switch games. Like I would definitely use that Apex Legends or Splatoon 2 EQ, but keep in mind it comes with the inconvenience of you have to change it with your phone first and then pair it to your Switch or to your PC. But moving on, there's also an EQ forum, which is a thing with wired Moondrop IEMs where people share their adjustments, which is very fun to play with. Just be extra careful to turn the volume down before trying new EQs because some presets, like the new bass booster from Tanchjim, boost the volume so much, even on only 50% volume. It hurts me when I first try it out. So again, be very careful. Now, of course, you get to build your own custom EQ as well, except here you get Q sliders or bandwidth control as well, which sets how wide or narrow you want to adjust that specific frequency. This feels like the Edifier app on steroids because you can slide the top part and reveal a lot of other frequencies. But my personal favorite feature is it reflects whatever EQ preset that you're using. For example, you're on Harman or you're on default EQ and you found the treble too harsh, you can simply experiment and reduce the treble a little bit. And when you want to try again, the reset icon on the top right resets it to that EQ preset. This is an equalizer dream come true and hands down the most intricate custom EQ system I've seen so far. So great job, Tanchjim. From this alone, you can probably see how the app is so much better than Moondrop's app. The connection time is pretty much instant. You don't have to register for an account unless you want to share your own custom EQ. And also, I love how you can customize single, double, and triple tap, which includes volume control. And this is a unique feature I saw last time on Feel Earbuds. You can set different ANC modes for left and right earbuds separately. So for example, I set mine to only trigger transparency on the right and ANC on the left. It makes switching between them so much faster. One thing to keep in mind is with the special ASANO TANCH edition, you get a custom voice prompt in Chinese and Japanese. But the way to change it is a bit hidden. You have to go to firmware OTA upgrade, then select which language you want to use, and then proceed to actually upgrading the firmware here. And keep in mind that in the versions that you're getting now, there will also be an English option section for the voice prompt. It's not all roses though, because I got one and only one gripe with the app is how difficult it is to download the Android app. You basically have to go to their website, find the app section and scan a QR code and sideload it, because it's not available on the Play Store, which is not the case in iOS. You just download it as normal. So Tanchjim, I really hope you can fix this in the future, because not everyone is comfortable with side-loading apps. Otherwise, that's pretty much the worst it can be. Alright, hit the thumbs up if you found this helpful so far, and do support the channel by buying these through the affiliate links down below. Thank you so much, and let's move on and talk about the build quality now. Okay, a lot of people had problems with the space travel open design, like it collecting dust in pockets and stuff. So much so that they made a fall letter case and sold them like hotcakes. Personally, I'm okay with either, but since it has a lid here, it should have less problems. But as much as I can say good things about the design here, how even the transparent lid has a touch of gold to it. If you fancy the plain standard version, then you can get them instead. The only downside with the case here is it doesn't have any pairing buttons, so if you want to pair, you have to tap and hold both earbuds for about 5 seconds. But coming back to the build quality, generally everything is very well designed. I've dropped these a lot during my months of usage, and so far nothing breaks. Not even any scuff marks on the body side here. It's pretty much brand new, but of course the lid is bound to have scuff marks, and I got a ton of them already, which is just the nature of the transparent material. But yeah, moving on to the earbuds here, aside from the special goldish design, I love how the ear tips form a better passive seal than any Moondrop earbuds, which gives it a slight edge over the Space Travel's ANC, but honestly, it's probably using a single feed forward ANC where it doesn't block too much mid to high frequency noises, so only quiets down your environment a few notches. At least the noise reduction is clean, which is expected in this day and age, as well as the transparency mode that's usable enough for daily grocery shopping and stuff. It's enough to make you aware and sounds pretty natural too. Just one thing to keep in mind, since the mic for transparency is at the top here, it doesn't channel your own voice too much, and you might rub over the mic, even though that's very rare in my case. But when you do, it's not too loud and annoying, which is good. Some more pros and cons you need to know is the voice prompt.
Clear mode, ANC mode, normal mode, 接続中
doesn't interrupt music when changing ANC mode, which can't be said with any Moondrop earbuds out now. But the earbuds doesn't remember the last used setting, so when you take the earbuds out of the case, you'll default to ANC off every time. This is less of a problem because changing ANC modes is very easy, but it is what it is. Alright, some more extra stuff here is first the battery life. It goes 5 hours with ANC transparency, or 6 hours without. You get another 5 more charges in the case, which is quite a lot for this size, and that will definitely last a whole week just fine. There's one LED in front which varies in gold color shades to tell you to charge, which I can't quite grasp, to be honest, until now. Basically, until it blinks, you need to charge it. And if you notice from the screenshots before, these have capacitive wear detection as well, which is off by default, so you can turn that on in sound settings. It plays music reliably, but don't expect it to automatically switch ANC to transparency mode. It doesn't even pause the music when you take one earbud out. Only with both sides out, a few seconds later, music will pause. Connectivity wise, when the phone is within line of sight, it has been no problem, but it doesn't quite pass my second floor test where it starts to stutter when I leave my phone down in the first floor and I go to this studio. At least it didn't disconnect. Also, there's no multi-point, high-res codec or wireless charging, and they advertise low latency, although there is no gaming mode to be seen. But checking the latency real quick shows it does perform quite well at around 250 milliseconds with the default EQ. But unfortunately, when you use extra processing with the game EQ, they ramped up to the usual Bluetooth 330 milliseconds range. And welcome everyone to the microphone test. Now we are with the Tanchjim MINO ASANO TANCH edition outside with four outdoor ACs on right now. I'm turning on all the AC in my house. It's really quite loud, as you will hear later with the phone microphone. But yeah, I just wanted to say that this actually has pretty good microphones, and it is one of the very rare earbuds that can change ANC modes while on call. I cannot understate how important this is, because switching to transparency mode on phone calls really makes it so much more natural to talk to. Okay, and here we are now recording back with the iPhone microphone, and this is the noise that the earbuds has been canceling. And by the way, I just wanted to share one good news. I teamed up with Hi-Fi Go to give away Tanchjim MINO ASANO TANCH edition. So to participate, you go down in the comments and share with us what is your perfect budget earbud criteria. Of course, you can be reasonable, you can be unreasonable, do whatever you want. Just make sure to leave your social media handle so I can contact you if you win. I will randomly pick one winner from the comments, and I will also share that in my Instagram later on. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Kenneth, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.